Hey Future Pros, coming at you with a bumper pack of lineups. First, let's take a look how to smoke the B doors on Dust 2. To throw the smoke, position yourself next to this big stone beam. Crouch down and aim within the gap in the sky. Then stand and throw the smoke. Super easy, super effective, should help you get into B. Taking long on Dust 2 is one thing, but getting to the site can be a whole other challenge. With these simple smokes I'll show you, it should be no problem. You will need 2 smokes for this one, so ask a teammate nicely to drop you one. To throw the first smoke, stand in the corner in front of the barrel, then aim at this point and running through the smoke almost instantly. Then stand at this wall, aim at this point along the line and running jump throw that smoke too. No pit control needed, and you'll be hard pressed to find a gap, so cross the site with a little bit of peace of mind. Let's look how to take some bracket control. You will need a smoke, molly, and a flash for this one. Throw the long smoke, get into the corner of the bench and aim at the top of this white decal. Run forward and jump throw the smoke. Then pull out your molly and aim in the middle of this metal railing. As you jump throw, tap your move right key as this will allow the molly to land deeper under the balcony. Finally, toss your flash against the wall to push anyone still close to shore back to the site and then take some space. A nifty, simple utility set, and I'm sure you'll find some success with it. Now the classic apps molly from alt mid. I see a lot of people wing this one, so let's look how to actually throw it. First things first, shoot out this window as soon as you can. Instantly aim at the shadow below the window. Then running jump throw the molly while you are still underneath the bridge above. Pretty simple but effective. However, this isn't some magic barrier. A CT could still push the molly, so try not to throw it and forget it. Took a lift to the top of Vertigo to show you a chunky double HE setup you can throw into mid on Vertigo. You will need 2 Future Pros and 2 HEs for this one. Future Pro number 1. Make your way into the front corner of connector. Aim at the right dot on the left panel and jump throw the HE. That's some good damage, but we can do more. Future Pro number 2. Hop up onto the wooden panels and aim just inside of the top right corner of this orange mesh. Then just throw the HE. This can be extremely annoying for any Ts who want to get a head start on mid control. The faster you throw these nades the better, but always be prepared for a T who could have had a 6 spawn. Also for Vertigo, we have the God Flash for A ramp. To throw this flash, get up against the edge of this wall. Aim just above the right corner of the concrete and throw. This will allow your teammates to peek crane and short side and get some easy kills if the Ts are committed to a ramp rush. Over to Nuke now with a handy Molotov that will help you get some early info outside. To throw this molly, run along the side of this wall. Aim at these weird electrical things. Then running throw the molly. If the Ts are committed to an early outside push, this will likely cause them to burn a smoke, and a T with 1 less smoke is always a joy to behold. Now let's have a look at one piece of the puzzle to help your team pull off a vent dive. First things first, shoot out this window. Climb the ladder and while running along the raised edge, aim as shown. running jump throw the molly just before you get to the ladder. This molly is not the best one you can throw for hut, as it will almost always leave a gap above the hut doorway, but for a vent dive or a squeaky push it's pretty handy. Back up and running jump throw your flashes with the same lineup. I would like to say this is all you need, but your teammates should still nade open the door, smoke the close molly, and then molly and flash into A main to be fully effective with your util. Hopefully your teammates manage this and you'll have a good chance to make it down that vent. Rushing B on Overpass just feels like the right thing to do sometimes. With this fast heaven smoke, it should make that B rush a tiny bit easier. To throw this smoke, get into the corner of this part of the wall. Aim along this diagonal shadow just above the long steel beam. Run forward and jump through the smoke just after the halfway point of the beam. Just like that, heaven should be smoked, and this also means you don't have to be at the front of the rush. Sounds good to me. Let's take a look at a nice little A exec you can throw on the A side of Overpass. For this exec, you will need 2 future pros, 2 smokes, 2 mollies, and a couple of flashes. Future pro number 1. You'll be throwing the bank smoke along with a molly for the truck. To throw your smoke, get into this back corner. Aim into the bricks and just to the right of this little brick. Then jump throw the smoke. For the molly, aim along the bottom of this wall in line with the shadow. Run forward, then walking jump throw the molly just as you get over the shadow. Then throw a basic flash behind your team to help them out. Future pro number 2. You'll be throwing the stairs smoke along with a molly that lands next to the dice box. To throw the smoke, get in line with the right side of this beam and crouch down. Find the gap in the white spot and aim at this point and crouching jump throw the smoke. For your molly, aim just to the right of this brick and crouching jump throw also. Lastly, you'll throw the initial flash, which will help your team take space into the site. This is a nice execute and will make it hard for the CTs to play behind cover, also leading you to get the most out of your flashes. Next up, we have a couple of tips from a very special guest. Take it away, Nart.
Hey future pros, Nart out here going to show you a cool nade stack from Astralis on Overpass to take care of the CT spam and connector. If executed correctly, you will give the CT something to think about next time they want to spam. You will need 3 future pros and 3 HGs for this tactic. Future pro number 1. You're going to get into this corner and using this lineup here, move forward to the end of the shadow to allow your other teammates to line up. Future pro number 2. You will stand in the same corner and using the same lineup, move up giving space for your last teammate. Future pro number 3. Like your other teammates, you'll also use the same lineup. Once you get signal from your connector teammate, run forward until you hit the top of the hill, then jump throw. These nades will set you up with an early player advantage, favoring your team to win the round and making it easier for your connector player to push up. Your connector teammate should smoke the door to bait the CTs to spam, and that's when you will greenlight the airstrike. Make sure you add this in your playbook if you know the CTs like spam and connector. Nerd out here back on Overpass where I saw Copenhagen Flames do an insane run boost that allows you to throw a Molotov across the map. They also pair this up with a smoke to take monster control. The molly will cut off the terrorist's initial push, then the smoke blooms on that molly to deny the T's vision and allow a CT push through monster. Big brain stuff here. For this setup you will need 2 future pros, a molly, and a smoke. Future pro number 1, you will be throwing the stairs molly. To do so, get on top of your teammate's head, put your crosshair on this mark, then when ready, jump up to start the run boost, and you will jump throw right when you pass the garbage can. Future Pro number 2, you will crouch into this corner, aim as shown, then wait for your teammate to start the run boost. After your teammate jumps off your head, you will move into this corner of the truck and jump throw your smoke, which will land on top of the molly, taking vision away from the tees. But be careful, there's a small gap on the fence. If executed correctly, the tees will have to make a choice on whether to push through the molly or to give up control. Pair this up with flashes for your teammates to push through monster. With this setup, you will put the tees at a disadvantage, losing half the map, and then being able to rotate more freely. Why do you think they're called the Copenhagen Flames?
Nice one, Nod. If you want more of Nod out here, be sure to check out the description below. With Overpass out of the way, let's look at a handy A-split smoke on Ancient. It's the old Ancient, but this will still work, trust. To throw the smoke, take mid control. Easy, right? Then get into this corner. Aim at the middle of this spot. And jump throw the smoke. A nice, easy lineup leading to a useful smoke that can give you some good options on the grueling T side of Ancient. Finally, everyone's favorite map, Mirage. Firstly, a smoke you can throw from spawn that will land at the top of connector. To throw the smoke, hop up onto the trash can where you belong. Crouch down and aim at the top right corner of the third wooden roof beam. Remain crouched and move forward and jump through the smoke just as your crosshair goes below this wire. This one is surprisingly not too hard to throw, but give it a bit of practice before you use it in the grand finals. Pretty useful for a cat rush, but I'll let you aspiring future pros decide how to use it best. I wanted to show you an alternate way to take some mid control on Mirage. To get the most out of this, you'll need 4 future pros, 2 smokes, 2 flashes, a molly, and a HE. Future pro number 1, you'll be throwing the top mid smoke. To throw the smoke, stand beside the stairs. Aim at the wire above the corner of the building. Then just throw the smoke. Future pro number 2, you will throw the smoke that lands on the mid ramp. Stand at the opposite end of the stairs as future pro 1. Place the tip of your smoke over this dark smudge. Then just throw the smoke. A note for this, you will need the classic view model to line this one up. Future pro number 3, you'll be throwing a couple of supporting flashes. To throw your first, run towards this wooden beam. While against the beam, aim just to the right of the bottom of this line. Running jump throw the flash to blind anyone who could have a good spawn. Then toss your second flash into the ramp smoke. Future pro number 4, you will actually get to utilize this nifty ramp smoke, but first bank a molly off this wall which will land behind the ramp smoke. Also toss a HE into mid if you want. Now you get to sit behind the smoke and look for some fights. Listen out for some burn damage, as a CT will think their best option might be to play behind the smoke. From the CT perspective, you can see it'll be very difficult to spot a T over the smoke. So good luck.